everyone, welcome back to EngLift Studio. I'm Maya.
And I'm Jordan.
So, Jordan, how have your days been lately?
Honestly, pretty busy. Coffee has been doing most of the work. How about you?
Same here. A lot going on, but today feels a little different.
Different how? Excited or nervous?
A bit of both. I don't know why, but today's topic feels very personal.
Yeah, I was feeling that too. I actually got a little nervous before we hit record.
That usually means we're about to talk about something real.
True. So, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about dreams.
Not the sleeping kind.
The kind that quietly sits in your mind and asks, what if?
And those dreams are the ones that keep people up at night.
Not the sleeping kind, but the what if kind. The dreams you have for your life, your career, your purpose. And Jordan, I know you've been on quite a journey with this. You actually pursued your dream despite a lot of obstacles.
I did, and it was terrifying. But we'll get into that. Maya, you also made a big leap, right?
I did. 2 years ago, I left a comfortable corporate job to start my own business. Best and scariest decision of my life.
So we both know what it's like to chase a dream, and we want to talk about that today. How to identify your dreams, overcome fear, and actually pursue them.
Let's start with the big question. What even is a dream? How is it different from a goal?
Great question. A goal is something like lose 20 pounds or save $10,000. A dream is bigger, more soul deep. It's about who you want to become and how you want to live.
So it's less about achieving something specific and more about creating a life that feels meaningful to you.
Exactly. My dream wasn't just become a designer, it was to spend my life creating beautiful things and feeling free in my work.
And mine wasn't just start a business, it was to have autonomy, make an impact, and work on things I'm passionate about.
Right. Dreams are about values and fulfillment, not just check boxes.
So, why do so many people give up on their dreams or never pursue them at all?
Fear is the biggest one. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of financial instability.
Fear of looking foolish or naive.
Yes. People think, who am I to want this? What if I'm not good enough?
I definitely felt that. I thought, who am I to start a business? There are people smarter and more experienced than me.
Same. I thought real artists went to fancy art schools. I'm just someone who likes to draw.
So we both had imposter syndrome before even starting.
Exactly. Another reason people don't pursue dreams, other people's opinions and expectations.
Oh, this is huge. Family, friends, society telling you what you should do.
My parents wanted me to be a doctor or lawyer, something stable and prestigious. When I said I wanted to be an artist, they were so disappointed.
How did you handle that?
It was hard. I felt like I was letting them down. But eventually, I realized it's my life, not theirs. They weren't going to live with my regrets if I didn't try.
That's powerful. My parents were supportive, but my friends thought I was crazy to leave a six-figure salary.
What did they say?
Things like, why would you risk that? And you have it so good, why rock the boat? They meant well, but they were projecting their own fears onto me.
That's the thing. Most people who discourage your dreams are speaking from their own limitations, not yours.
Exactly. Another reason people don't pursue dreams, they don't know what their dreams are.
This is more common than people think. They've been so busy doing what they're supposed to do, they've never asked themselves what they want.
How do you figure out what your dreams are?
Start by asking yourself, if money wasn't an issue and failure wasn't possible, what would I do with my life?
That removes all the practical obstacles and gets to the heart of it.
Right. When I asked myself that, the answer was immediate. I'd make art all day. That told me something important.
I love that question. Another one I like, what did you dream about as a child before the world told you what was realistic?
Oh, that's good. Kids have wild dreams before they learn to be practical.
I wanted to be a writer when I was 10. Then teachers and adults told me, you can't make money as a writer. So I pushed that dream down.
And now?
Now I write every day for my business, blog posts, newsletters, social media. I found a way to incorporate that childhood dream into my adult life.
That's beautiful. Sometimes your childhood dreams contain clues about what truly lights you up.
What other questions help people identify their dreams?
What makes you lose track of time? What are you doing when you feel most alive?
For me, it's when I'm creating something new, a workshop, a program, content. I get in flow and hours disappear.
Same with me in design. I'll start a project and suddenly it's 3 a.m. That's a sign you're aligned with something meaningful.
Another question, what would you regret not trying?
Ooh, that's intense, but important.
When I was debating leaving my job, I imagined myself at 80. Would I regret staying in a safe job or regret trying and failing at my own thing?
And the answer was?
I'd regret not trying. That made the decision clear.
That's the deathbed test. It clarifies what really matters.
Okay, so once you've identified your dream, how do you actually pursue it? Where do you start?
First, give yourself permission to want it. This sounds simple, but it's huge.
What do you mean?
Many people won't even admit their dreams to themselves because it feels too vulnerable. They're afraid to want something they might not get.
So they protect themselves by pretending they don't want it.
Exactly. I don't really want to be an actor. That's just a silly fantasy. But deep down, they do want it.
So step one is acknowledging your dream out loud.
Yes. Write it down. Say it to someone you trust. Make it real by naming it.
What's next?
Get clear on why this dream matters to you. What will it give you? How will it change your life?
Your why becomes your fuel when things get hard.
Exactly. My why was freedom and creative expression. When I wanted to give up, I'd remember this is about living authentically, not just making pretty pictures.
What was your why for leaving corporate? I wanted to make a real impact and have control over my time. In my corporate job, I felt like a tiny cog in a huge machine. Now I see the direct impact of my work.
That's compelling. Okay, so you've named your dream and know your why. Then what?
Research and learning. You need to understand what's actually involved in your dream.
Right. Dreams often look different from the inside than they do from the outside.
What do you mean?
Like everyone wants to be a famous author, but actual authors spend years alone at a keyboard, facing rejection, revising endlessly. The reality is different from the fantasy.
So you need to make sure you want the actual day to day, not just the end result.
Exactly. I had to make sure I loved the process of designing, not just the idea of being a designer.
How did you figure that out?
I started doing design work on the side while keeping my day job. I did small projects, built a portfolio, lived the reality before going all in.
That's smart. Test your dream before betting everything on it.
Yes, which leads to the next step. Start small. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow.
I love this because people think pursuing dreams requires a dramatic leap, but it doesn't have to.
Not at all. You can pursue your dream in small ways alongside your regular life.
What does that look like?
If you want to be a writer, write for 30 minutes before work. If you want to start a business, work on it on weekends. If you want to be an artist, create after dinner.
Small, consistent steps towards your dream.
Exactly. I designed logos and websites on nights and weekends for 2 years before I went full time.
And that did two things: proved you could do it and built a financial cushion.
Yes, by the time I quit my job, I had clients and savings. It wasn't as risky as it could have been.
I did the same thing. I started my business as a side project, validated the idea, got paying customers, then transitioned full time.
That's the smart way. Minimize risk while maximizing learning.
Let's talk about overcoming fear because that's what stops most people.
Fear is natural. Pursuing a dream means uncertainty, and humans don't like uncertainty.
What fears did you face?
Fear of failing and looking stupid, fear of disappointing my parents, fear of financial instability, fear that I wasn't talented enough.
How did you move forward despite those fears?
I didn't wait for the fear to go away. I acted anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the presence of fear.
I love that. The fear doesn't disappear. You just do it scared.
Exactly. Every big step I took, I was terrified. Posting my first design online, contacting my first potential client, quitting my job. All scary.
But you did them anyway.
I did. And you know what? Most of my fears never materialized. The worst case scenarios I imagined didn't happen.
That's so true. I was terrified of going broke, but I had saved money and had a plan. The disaster I imagined never came.
Our brains are wired to imagine the worst to keep us safe, but that same wiring can keep us stuck.
So, how do you manage fear practically?
Name your specific fears, write them down, then ask, is this realistic? What's the evidence? What's the actual worst that could happen?
And usually, the worst case isn't that bad.
Right. My worst case was I fail as a designer and have to get another regular job. Okay, so I'd be back where I started. Not ideal, but not catastrophic.
And the best case.
I build a career I love, make a living doing creative work, and feel fulfilled every day.
So, the potential upside far outweighed the downside.
Exactly. When you actually analyze it rationally, the risk is often worth it.
What about dealing with other people's doubts and criticism?
This is hard. People will question your choices, especially if you're doing something unconventional.
How do you handle that?
Remember that their opinions come from their own experiences and limitations. Someone who's never taken a risk will tell you not to take risks.
And someone who gave up on their dreams will discourage yours.
Exactly. Surround yourself with people who support you or have done what you're trying to do.
I joined a community of entrepreneurs when I started my business. Being around people who understood the journey was invaluable.
Same. I found other creatives and artists who got it. They cheered me on instead of questioning me.
Find your people. Your community matters so much.
Let's talk about the reality of pursuing dreams. It's not all Instagram-worthy moments.
Not at all. There's a lot of grinding, failing, and questioning yourself.
What were the hardest parts for you?
The financial uncertainty was stressful. Some months were great, others were lean. I had to learn to ride those waves.
Same. Feast or famine cycles are real when you're self-employed.
Also, the loneliness. I went from an office with colleagues to working alone at home. I had to intentionally build social connection.
I felt that too. Creative work can be isolating. I had to join co-working spaces and attend networking events to see humans.
What else was hard?
The self-doubt. When things went wrong, I think maybe everyone was right. Maybe I should have stayed in my safe job.
But you pushed through those moments?
I did. I'd remind myself why I started, look at how far I'd come, and keep going.
That's resilient. Pursuing dreams requires serious mental toughness.
It does, but it also builds you as a person. I'm so much stronger and more confident now.
Same. I've grown more in 2 years of entrepreneurship than 10 years in corporate.
Let's talk about the role of persistence. Dreams don't come true overnight.
This is so important. People see success stories and think it happened quickly.
But they don't see the years of work behind it.
How long did it take before you felt established as a designer?
Honestly, about 3 years. The first year was struggling to get clients. The second year was building reputation. By year 3, I had consistent work.
And now?
5 years in, I'm thriving. But those first few years were rough.
What kept you going?
Small wins. Every client who hired me, every positive feedback, every project I was proud of, those kept me motivated.
Celebrating progress, not just end results.
Exactly. If you only celebrate when you make it, you'll be miserable for years. Celebrate the small wins along the way.
What about when you fail? Because failure is part of pursuing dreams.
Failure is inevitable. I've had projects flop, clients leave, ideas that didn't work.
How do you handle failure?
Feel the disappointment, then ask, what can I learn? Every failure teaches something if you're willing to see it.
I had a program launch that totally bombed. Only 3 people signed up when I expected 30.
That must have been crushing.
It was, but I reached out to those 3 people and asked what I could have done better. Their feedback shaped my next launch, which was much more successful.
So failure became valuable data.
Exactly. Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
That's the mindset. Failure is part of the process, not proof you should quit.
Let's talk about balance. How do you pursue dreams while still having a life?
Now, this is tricky because dreams require sacrifice and effort, but you can't burn yourself out.
What did you sacrifice?
Social time, mostly. When my friends were going out on weekends, I was often working on design projects.
Do you regret that?
Not really, it was temporary. Now I have more freedom and flexibility than they do.
So, short term sacrifice for long term gain.
Yes, but you also need to take care of yourself. I learned that the hard way.
What happened?
I burnt out in year two. I was working 80-hour weeks, sleeping 4 hours a night, not exercising or eating well.
And?
My health suffered, my creativity suffered, my work suffered. I had to learn that rest is productive too.
Pursuing dreams is a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. You need sustainable rhythms, not just hustle culture.
I schedule days off now. No work, just rest and fun. It actually makes me more productive the other days.
Same. I take Sundays completely off. It keeps me sane and creative.
What about when your dream evolves, when what you wanted changes?
That's totally normal. You're allowed to change your mind.
Really? I feel like people judge you for that.
They might, but it's your life. My dream started as be a graphic designer. Now it's evolved to build a creative agency and mentor young designers.
So your dream grew as you grew.
Exactly. Dreams aren't static. As you pursue them, you learn and evolve, and your dreams evolve too.
I love that. It takes pressure off. You don't have to have it all figured out from the start.
Not at all. You figure it out as you go.
Okay, practical advice time. How do you actually start pursuing a dream today?
1. Write it down. Get specific about what you want.
2. Identify your why. Why does this matter to you?
3. You research. Talk to people who've done what you want to do. Learn the reality.
4. Start small. Take one tiny action towards your dream today.
5. Test it out. Try your dream as a side project before going all in.
6. Build skills. What do you need to learn? Take courses, practice, get better.
7. Save money. Financial cushion reduces stress and gives you runway.
8. Find your people. Join communities of others pursuing similar dreams.
9. Expect fear and do it anyway. Courage is action despite fear.
10. Be patient and persistent. Dreams take time to manifest.
11. Celebrate small wins. Progress is worth celebrating.
12. Learn from failure. Every setback is data, not defeat.
And finally, remember why you started. Your why will carry you through hard times.
This is all so good. Any final thoughts for dreamers listening?
Your dreams matter. They're not silly or selfish. They're you trying to become who you're meant to be.
The world needs people who are lit up by their work, not just going through the motions.
And you're more capable than you think. Most people who've achieved their dreams weren't special. They were just willing to try.
The only way to guarantee you won't achieve your dream is to never start.
So start. Take one small step today, then another tomorrow. That's how dreams become reality.
We want to hear from you. What's your dream? What's holding you back?
Send us messages on social media. Tell us what you're working towards.
And if you already pursued a dream, share your story. Others need to hear it.
Thanks for listening to our conversation.
Here's to chasing dreams and building lives you love.
See you next week, dreamers.